Yeah, that's it.
Why can't she go first? Ladies first.
No, it's okay.
No one wants to talk to me.
Okay, and
My name is DeVal and I'm here with Benh Zeitlin.
Got it.
What do? Tell me a little about the movie Wendy.
Okay. I'm a film director. I write screenplays and I compose music too. Yeah, Wendy is this movie I've been working on for the last 5 years. That we shot in a lot of different islands, in Caribbean and in New Orleans, and then a little bit in Mexico and all over the world. Yeah.
When did you know you wanted to be a filmmaker?
Well, I used to do a lot of things when I was in high school. Nobody invited me to parties, so mostly I wrote music, I made movies with my friends. Like every weekend it was like Fridays we're gonna make a film, Saturdays gonna be band practice, I would write, I would try to write poetry, and I had all these different things that I like to do. And then at some point when I realized that I needed to pick like one art form that I had to focus on and pursue, I thought I should keep on making movies because I still get to write, music, I get to make the movies, and movies are great because I always wanted to do something where I could basically invite all my friends and family and collaborate with a lot of people. And so one great thing about making movies is, you know, part of it's alone, but when you actually go out and do it, you have a huge team of people and you get to kind of design your life, you know.
What is the hardest or easiest part of your job being a director?
The hardest thing about being a director, and the thing that's really different about being like a feature film director from when I was just making movies in high school, like when I remember early on when I was making films, you just do everything. You know, you hold the camera, you act in it, you're hands-on. If there's a prop that has to get made, you make it. And then the transition to me to be running like a film production with like 150 crew members, you know, you stop being the person that does the things, and your job becomes kind of leading the team. You know, it's almost like your leadership skills become as important as more important than your art skills in some ways. It's tough because you have to make a lot of decisions, you know, that's really becomes your job as a director, is you have to make the final decisions on things, and sometimes it's hard and you don't know what the right choice is. You know, someone will bring you two things and there'll be one that's green and one that's blue, and they're like, which one's better? And if you don't know, you still have to say blue or green and just decide in that moment and just trust your instincts and stuff like that. And so it's learning that that's your job and not to actually paint the thing was a tough thing for me to figure out.
Well, did you learn anything about your first movie to this movie?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I mean, because I didn't go to like a proper film school, you know? I didn't work on film sets, and I didn't go to like a proper school that would teach you how a film set works. And so learning on the fly, like being in charge and not knowing half as much as all the other people do about how film production works and what a call sheet is, like what a gaffer does, like all that stuff. The first time I went out at it, like I had no idea what anything meant. I didn't know, you know, people would be on the walkie-talkie talking in codes, and I didn't know what they were talking about. And so just learning, like, getting up to speed with how film production works was like a huge learning curve for me.
So is there any advice you would give the young filmmakers out there?
What worked for me and what I think is a great thing, you know, I just think young filmmakers should be above all just making films as much as possible. You know, you can worry about your career path and, you know, what schools you're going to go to, like where you should live, things like that, but none of that is important. It's just making as many films as you can. And, you know, the films that I made when I was young were terrible. You know, they were absolutely awful. They're unwatchable now, you know, but that's where you learn. You do it over and over again, you get better. It's like, film, I think for a lot of people seems like this other world that you don't have access to. You know, it's like, oh, how do I like jump into it? But in my experience, there wasn't any process like that where suddenly it was like someone opened the door and you walk through and you are a filmmaker. It was like a very natural thing from the way that I made movies when I was in high school to how I make movies now. I work with a lot of the same people, you know, my editors, the producers, all people that I was just in the backyard with, you know, doing this when I was young. And so we just got better by doing it over and over and over again, and just working really hard and not being afraid to to make a film and show a film and have people laugh at it or something like that. You know, you can't be afraid to fall on your face, you know? You just gotta do it over and over again, and you get better, and you build your team, and that's a really important thing about making films, and one of the best things about it is that, you know, it's not all about one person. It really requires a team, and each element, you know, your cinematographer, your editor, your writer, like all those people are as important as everybody else, you know, and so if you have that team when you're young, you have those friends who have those skills, and you guys work together really well, like that can be a really, really powerful thing. And so that's something that you can build the best, honestly, when you're really young, you know. So I think that's like an important thing.
I really look forward to seeing your film Wendy, and this is the Valen from COOLFeed. See y'all next time.
Okay.